Right now, you can start praying while you're on your knees, and while you're on your knees, you start to feel that energy, and that energy starts to flowing in your body, and you got tired of hanging in there, and so now you start to rise up to the occasion. Listen, you got to get to the point. You got to get to the point where you say, "I'm not going to let people take advantage of me anymore." That's the point where you start talking to God. Say, "Father, I need strength. I need your power." Stay on your knees until you got the breastplate of righteousness. Stay on your knees until you got the helmet of salvation. Stay on your knees until you can pick up the shield of faith. Stay on your knees until you get the shoes of peace. Stay on your knees until you get all those things together, and you can start saying, "Nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done." So now we see him. He's on the cross. All right. He's got death. And here it is. Christ is risen. Now, the text makes sense in verse 6 of chapter 28, when it says he's risen. Yeah. I realized that if Jesus was able to wake up with death, with all power in his hand, and get up from the grave 2,000 years ago, then I can rise up in 2010 out of my little bit of situations that I'm going through right now. You asked the question, how did Jesus do it? I'm glad you asked that question. I'm going to help you out tonight. He was able to get back up because he had a champ mentality. He was able to get back up because he had a champ mentality. Let me give you some advice. When life knocks you down, you can be in one or two categories. You can either be a champ or you can be a chump. Oh, I like that. I'm Baptist preachers. We repeat ourselves often. Amen. You can be in one or two categories. You can either be a champ or you can be a chump. When you're in a fight and you're getting uppercuts and jabs and hooks and even getting hit below the belt, a chump will always resolve that the fight is over and decide to quit. Okay. It's going to come like a wave in 32 seconds. And when it hits you, you just start shouting, "I know you got it." Amen. A chump will draw the conclusion and start declaring the benediction on all that situation, talking about it's over. I'm not going to get up from this. I've been slapped, I've been kicked, I've been talked about, I've been abused, I've been scorned since the day I was born. That's chump talk. And God is tired of us talking like chumps.
Amen. That's it. All right.
Oh, Lord, I ain't never had nothing, ain't gonna never have nothing. Lord, when you gonna send me a husband? I've been fasting for 42 days and ain't nothing happened yet. Lord, when you gonna pay some bills? Lord, I got the one ass, but I ain't found nothing that's good for me. That's chump talk.
All right.
Chump talk. Chump talk. And God is tired of us acting like babies, stuck on Similac, instead of growing up from being a chump and becoming a champ. So let's see, when you got champion in your veins, when you begin to have that champion spirit, stuff that bothers chumps don't bother champions. You start thinking like Maya Angelou. Yet might write me down in the history with your bitter, twisted lies. But still, oh, y'all read. I like this. I'm in the right church. walk around being like a chump. You need to say to yourself, still I rise. Okay. Sometimes you got to realize that you are more than what? Still I rise. What I'm saying is, it's not about what you see in you, but it's about what the Father sees in you. Still you rise. It's about how did you get through that storm? I rose. How did you get through that broken relationship? I rose. How did you get over that job loss? I rose. How did you get over that house that you lost? I rose. How did you get over that repossessed car? I rose. How did you get over diabetes? I rose. How did you get over cancer? I rose. Is there anybody in here tonight that's ready to rise? You need to have that champion mentality, because the champion says it doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter if it is the fourth quarter. It doesn't matter if it is the opposition has more points on the board than you are. You got to be just like Rudy. You got to say, never underestimate the heart of a real champion. Because when you realize what you have in the inside of you, they may knock you down, but you're still going to rise. You may realize that like a champion, you got to learn how to walk like a champion. You got to learn how to talk like a champion. You got to learn how to act like a champion. Don't go around with your head down. Go out with your chest out. Wear your championship belt. Let the world know that you are a champion. You got to be like that little boy that was in the traditional Baptist church. He was standing in the pews and he was jumping up and down, raising his hand. And his mama said, sit down, boy. And the little boy just kept standing up in the pews, jumping up and down, raising his hand. And mama getting a little frustrated now. She said, boy, you better sit down. Little boy still jumping up and down, raising his hand. And so mama, what she did, she took her hand and put it on the top of his head and pushed him down in the seat. And he looked at his mama with real seriousness and said, mama, you may be pushed down but on the outside, but on the inside, I'm still jumping for joy. And that's the way that you got to be. It doesn't matter if folks got you down on the outside. On the inside, you still got to be jumping with joy. Yeah. And finally, you got to realize the reason why Jesus got up. Is it because every trial and tribulation he prepared for? Yeah. Because everything that he went through prepared him for the fight on Calvary. Okay, y'all didn't get this. Maybe I need to speak a little louder. Sound man, turn me up just a little bit. Just a little bit. You need to realize too much that everything that you've gone through, God sent purposely for you to prepare you for the fight that you're fighting now. Matter of fact, I like to put it to you this way. All the fights that you had in your past life were exhibition fights leading up to a championship fight. Okay. See, when Jesus went against the Sadducees and the Pharisees, that was the exhibition fight. That wasn't the real fight. When Jesus went against the blind man and gave him eyesight, that wasn't a real fight. That was an exhibition fight. When Jesus went to that same man by the pool of Bethesda and you healed him right there at the pool, that wasn't the real fight. That was an exhibition fight. When Jesus broke the bread and fed folks with some fish sandwiches, and that wasn't an